Hi, I just wanted to give you a quick heads up before you invested too much time in today's vlog, that there's no technology. I'm not talking tech, I'm not talking productivity. None of that content is in today's vlog. Instead, it's about health, wellness, being a baby boomer, and taking care of yourself. It's a lifestyle vlog today as far as content. Next vlog, we'll talk about technology again. Today, it's a lot more personal. One year ago, I was diabetic. I was in January of 2017. I weighed 265 pounds, and my blood work showed that I was now diabetic, and I could tell I was. And all of my blood work was unhealthy. I was at a crossroads. I could go one of two ways. I could accept that I was now going to have to count on medical intervention to keep me alive and increasingly need to take drugs that would manage diabetes and probably blood pressure and all that path. Or I could take responsibility, and I could say, wait a minute, I can do something about this, I should do something about this, I will do something about this. And so I decided to try the second route. I didn't decide to try the second route. I didn't think there was really an option. I didn't see, I'm not ready to give up on things, so I went the other way. And I'm going to start sharing my fitness journey with you now, because I think so many of us are at that point. We fast forward to just a couple of months ago. I was in at my doctor, in at my internist, and he was thrilled because, I'm going to cut out the entire middle of the story, because I wasn't diabetic anymore, and all my blood work is good. And he was so excited to see me when I walked in. This doctor was, I can still remember. He said, "How are you doing, Steve?" I said, "I think I'm doing pretty good." He goes, "Yes, you are." "Why are you so cheerful?" He goes, "Because of this." And he showed me my blood work, and he goes, "Look, everything is in the normal range. This is awesome. You have done exactly what I asked you to do, and the results are there." I said, "Why?" I understand that, that it's good news, but why?" He was giddy. He says, "I will talk to 60 patients today. You're the only one I get to give this news to." And that shocked me. It shocked me to my core. Now, I felt wonderful from a personal perspective that the hard work that I'd put in to changing my life had borne fruit. But at the same time, I was going, why doesn't everybody do this? And the reason is, I guess it's hard. I think a lot of people our age, a lot of baby boomers who have had a relatively healthy life, but the years are weighing on. We've gained weight, we've gotten into some bad habits, we've gotten lost ourselves a little bit. A lot of baby boomers reach the point where the doctor tells them, "Oh, look, you're diabetic." They just, "Okay, what drugs do I need to take?" And they just capitulate to now letting medical science take care of them instead of taking personal responsibility and seeing if they can't get the ship back on course themselves. I think that's a tragedy. And you know what? I don't think, if we stop and think about it, that that's the place that we want to be. I know it's not the place that I want it to be, and I'm pretty sure it's not the place you want to be. So that's the reason that I'm sharing this story. Is gotta get to work here because I got food to prepare. That's the reason I'm sharing this story with you. It's not to be self-aggrandizing, because, to be honest with you, I struggle a little bit with putting my story up there to share. But maybe people can gain a lesson and say, if Steve can do it, I can do it. Maybe I can be a little bit of an inspiration to you. So let's go back. and let's talk about how I turned the ship around. You'll just have to wait a second. I gotta get a bowl. I'm gonna need a couple bowls. Got lots of stuff kind of happening right now. It's a Saturday, kind of food preparation day. I don't always do it, food preparation every Saturday, but we got a really busy week ahead of us, so I want to make sure that I'm ahead of everything that has to be done. So I want to have lots of healthy snacks and stuff ready to go. So Cheerios in milk, half eaten. Kids, would it kill them to rinse out their bowl and put it in the dishwasher? No, it would not kill them, yet they do not do it. Mushy Cheerios. I need more accoutrement. Okay, now we have time to talk. So, I recognize the fact that I'm not in control of my life. And I haven't been for a very long time, let's be honest. These things might seem like they creep up on us, but they don't creep up on us. They don't happen quickly. For years I had been eating kind of the way I wanted. Now, I exercised. I used to go to a fitness class, and I'd go twice a week. But here was the problem. Going twice a week to the fitness class was hard work for me. I found it frustrating because I wasn't getting any fitter. And in fact, I hurt almost all the time because I wasn't getting any fitter. These are kind of hit classes. So a lot of planks and a lot of squats and a lot of lunges and push-ups and mountain climbers and bicycles and core strength. Really important stuff. A lot of weights, free weights, which is really important as you're getting a little bit older. For baby boomers, weightlifting is so important. We lose that muscle mass, and we need that muscle mass for a lot of different reasons. So weightlifting, as we get older, becomes more and more important. It's important when you're 20 because you want to impress the girls, but when you're 60, it's way more important because you want to stay alive. We were doing those sorts of exercises, but doing it twice a week, I wasn't improving. All I was doing was, we'd do a heavy squat pattern, and I'd go to sit on the toilet, and it would be like, oh my God, I'd have to lower myself down because my thighs or my butt would hurt, and oh, geez. It was frustrating, and it was starting to make me really angry, and I was getting angry and frustrated with myself. Then I was super lucky because just at the same time that I was kind of coming to a realization that I had reached this crossroads, the gym that I work out at moved. And actually a whole kind of new business grew out of it. So we used to work out so where I used to work out was in a shared facility that they did mixed martial arts in the rest of the time. And PJ, who ran it, just kind of took some time and booked in somebody else's space. PJ decided to open her own gym, a boutique studio. So I don't even call it a gym, a fitness studio. It was a boutique fitness studio. Boutique meaning small. She set it up so that she had, instead of classes where you had to actually schedule what class you're going to be in, they had a series of classes all day long, so you could book multiple classes, and I could go more than twice a week if I wanted. And it was right in the town that I lived in. And I signed up, and I started to go. And at first I thought, I want to go more than twice a week, so I'll go 3 times a week. So the beginning of me starting to get healthy wasn't about taking responsibility for what I'm eating, but it was just getting physically healthy, getting stronger, getting fitter. And I said, I'm going to start going 3 times a week because twice a week I'm not getting anywhere. And so I started going 3 times a week. Very quickly I started going 4 times a week, and then I moved it up to 5 times a week. And by late spring, I was going 6 times a week working out. And I was getting stronger. I was injuring myself on a regular basis. First of all, my hips went out, and then my shoulders went out, and I added a new person to my team, basically a physiotherapist who would help me. And here was an important point. My hips were hurting so much that I was having trouble sleeping at night, and I thought, because I was now 58 years old, so I thought for sure I was going to have a hip replacement, and I was all prepared for that. But I went to the physio to see if I could, to see what could be done. And he goes, "Your hips are fine." He says, "They're really good, actually." He says, "The reason you have hip pain is your hip flexors are dominant, and they aren't letting your other muscles do their job, so they're constantly working, and it's got you out of alignment type thing. And so all we have to do is stretch and exercise different muscles, and you will suddenly have a lot more mobility in your hips and less pain." And then he did something really cool. He did this IMS, this intramuscular stimulation, which is deeply wild, where they actually put this very thin, hair-thin needle kind of into your deep muscle tissue and your muscle spasms. What happens is it spasms and then it releases a little bit farther. In that first treatment he did that for me. And instantly, that night I went home and my hips didn't hurt. And other than occasional overuse, I haven't had hip pain since. I slept better that night than I'd slept in months. And I was already on the road to recovery. But as important as physically what had happened, the mental component of what had just happened is way more profound. Because here I was, 58 years old, thinking that I'm on the downhill slide, and he said, "No, your hips are good, you can improve. And you can get better, you can get stronger, you can get more flexible, you can have less pain." Knowing that the effort that I was putting into training would actually not just be a delaying action, but could actually kind of see improvement, that was a huge psychological step to take. And it made all the difference in the world. Let's see where I can take this. Let's see where we can go. So I started working out more and more often, and I ended up having to see Travis, my physio, more and more often. But I was on the right path, and I was improving. But I'm not losing any weight. I lost 5 or 6 pounds. Needed to get healthier. I'm not dealing with the issues of diabetes. Exercise alone isn't going to cause me to lose weight, period. And I'm going to have to kind of take the next step. So with the diabetic, with the scare of being told you have diabetes, and the doctor saying, and basically I had to negotiate with my doctor. I said, "Look, can I try diet?" Because he was ready to prescribe drugs. He says, "Yeah, I'll give you 3 months." So this was midway through the year now. So I changed my diet pretty dramatically. And this is where I think social media and pop culture and just the world in general does us all a disservice talking about diets. Because going on a diet wasn't going to solve what ailed me. Changing how I live was going to solve what ailed me. Because it's not an episode to get healthy. It's changing how you live. And that is still something that you struggle with. So I had to change how I eat. And I'm not going to tell you what works and what doesn't work. You're going to have to decide that for yourself and do the research for yourself. But I can tell you, I'm not on a diet. I've cut a lot of things out of my diet that aren't healthy, that I miss. I had no more sugar. Don't miss that. The carbs, miss big time. Not all carbs. Bread, pasta. Miss pasta big time. And I'm not fooling myself into thinking that once I'm lost weight, that I can go back to eating the way that I did before. Because I can't. So I've had to accept this change. And something, this change is a lot better to accept than being a life on medication or of disability, of losing mobility, or of losing eyesight, or of whatever. Not being able to eat some foods that I like. It's really more of an inconvenience. But what I want to go back to, and I want to spend a moment and talk about, is the gym. because the gym was the start of this whole thing. And when I look back on why I was successful in turning my life around, I'm not through the journey yet, but why, you know, so far we've lost 40 pounds. We're no longer diabetic. We feel better. And I believe that I have changed my habits, which is the most important part. But the key to this whole thing began when PJ opened her gym here in town. And this gym, this fitness studio, became the place that I went, that I worked out, that I had some success. But it was the social community that was there that made all the difference in the world. The fact that I had a place that I felt safe, that I could work out at. You know, as a baby boomer, I didn't want to go to a gym where I was going to be competitive and people were going to be looking at how much weight I was lifting, and there were mirrors all around telling you, you know, all those sorts of things. I wasn't looking for that. It wasn't going to work for me. That attitude and that environment wasn't going to work for me. So here, she'd set up a gym, a studio that had no mirrors, that catered to people who were not just baby boomers, but moms working, you know, people that were interested in getting healthy, but not necessarily in bodybuilding and the whole social aspect of fitness. There was a social aspect of supportive nature of it, but not a comparative nature, you know, with no competitive nature. Having that nurturing environment made all the difference to me. I think that ultimately, when I look at all of the different lucky things that fell into place over that year, the social nature of that gym and how supportive it was the biggest difference. So if I'm going to give anybody any advice, which I'm loath to do in this case, but I'm going to give anybody any advice, find a place that you feel safe and comfortable to work out at. Find a nurturing environment. That's where it's all going to start for you. The diet and all that sort of stuff, that all falls into place and becomes far more easy when you're seeing some results, when you're getting some physical, when you're feeling the energy. I am now addicted to exercise. I know that I am. The endorphin rush that I get from working out hard for an hour, 6 days a week, is a lifeline. And it's something that I love. I don't like working out, don't get me wrong. That would be ridiculous to tell you that if I'm in the middle of doing lunges, I'm going, I love this. I don't. I hate that. But I don't hate it that much. The moment I love walking out of the gym, feeling that I've worked out, feeling my body saying, yes, you work this muscle, that muscle. I love climbing into bed at night with a little soreness in my muscle. Not a bad soreness, but a soreness that says you worked hard. I love getting up in the morning and feeling a little bit of stiffness that very quickly leaves because you know now that it's going to go. But you also know that that stiffness came from a hard workout the day before. I'm addicted to that connection now with moving my body in a healthy direction. I don't know if this helps. I don't know if this is what you wanted to hear on our vlog, but I think it's important that you have a baseline understanding, because a part of doing this vlog was to share this kind of a journey into fitness. And I've gone on a little longer than I normally would today, but it's a complicated cocktail. How we treat ourselves and how we change ourselves. And we've all got to make a decision. We're all facing a crossroad at some point in our life. Are we going to go and let medicine take care of us? Or are we going to try and take care of ourselves? Sometimes we don't have a choice. Sometimes I was blessed that I actually was at a point in my life that I could still make a difference. And I think so many of us are at that point. If you're at that point, take the path of personal responsibility. It makes the future brighter, more exciting, and it's worth it.